let's go back to the phone lines. E. Frank in New York, listening on the web. Hi, E. Frank.
Yes, hi, Hank. I'm calling because I have a question that's in regards to the conversion and the spiritual understanding of Jesus in foreign lands. I was involved with the redundancy and with the stagnation of the Christian Roman Catholic Church, and I am just astounded how in other countries they have not heard the gospel of the Lord, the risen Lord Jesus Christ. And the question is, Hank, is it possible for miracles, evangelization, conversion, and revivals to occur in lands where there has never been the gospel preached? Because it's hard, as hard as it seems that there's still places on earth that for some reason they have not heard the gospel. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I was talking to my youngest son, Xander. He's 13. We were taking a walking the dog. My wife told me to. And as we were walking and talking, we had a conversation on this very subject, and it was a beautiful evening. And I looked up at the stars, and I said, those stars speak just as the sun, moon, and stars speak. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day, they pour forth speech. There's no speech or language where their voice is not heard. And then David says their words go out to the ends of the earth. And so what I was pointing out to my son is that no matter where you are in the world today, if you look up, especially when there's no light pollution, and you see the majesty of the stars, you see the sun and the moon, you know that there is a God. So there is no place where that message has not gone. Secondly, as I have said many times on this show, there's also an internal message. It's part of our DNA. God has created us in his image and likeness, and because of that, we have an intuitive sense of God. In fact, we are created for fellowship with God. So we have that light, but if you like darkness, as Jesus said to Nicodemus, better than light, then that's indicative of the fact that your deeds are evil. Because you don't want light, you're obscuring that light. So no matter where you are, you have the outer light and you have the inner light, and if you respond to that, you can get more light. Now, does that always have to come through a normative means? Does that always have to be an evangelist? Does that always have to be a church plant? Does that always have to? No. There are many, many ways in which God reaches people. I think about Saul, who became Paul. God reached him in a very, very direct fashion. So we know that God can reach people who are genuinely searching for him or really care about truth. He can reach them. And that's why Paul ended up on Mars Hill saying, from one man God created every nation of men that they should inhabit the whole earth. He determined the exact times and places that they should live. And he did that because men could therefore reach out for him and find him, though he is not far from each one of us. So Paul is saying, no matter where you are on this planet, you can be found of God. Now, there's another way of answering this, and I won't necessarily elaborate because I don't have time, but let me simply say this. It is not the absence of truth that damns, it's the despising of truth that damns. It is despising the words that come from the heavens, God's eternal power, divine nature, clearly seen through what has been made, so that men are without excuse. It is despising the inner voice and doing it your own way. So as long as someone is genuinely reaching out for God, you may be a friend of God like Abraham. But Abraham, I can tell you, did not have the requisite knowledge that I have. Now, am I making myself greater than Father Abraham? Of course not. I'm simply saying that I live after the cross. So what he looked forward to dimly, I can see very clearly, which of course gives me a greater accountability as well. But again, Abraham was a friend of God. Abraham was going to be the paragon of virtue in eternity, because he is going to be completely Godized in eternity. He is going to reach full theosis and forever experience the glory and grandeur of God and the glory and grandeur of his created handiwork. So God is not dependent on normative means by any means, but that does not mean that we should not use the normative means available to us to preach the gospel wherever we have the opportunity. My apologies to those hanging on. Hopefully I can talk to you in a future edition of the Bible Answer Man broadcast. We're out of here for today.